Joining us now is OjyOkpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Oji.
Dr. Martin, welcome back. Good morning. And you know you were trending. Of course you know you were trending with Yawo dancing on social media. Oyibo Pepe was dancing. No, we don't have it. Good morning, Bimba, our favorite Nigerian wife.
You too, you were cruising, you went to the beach, enjoying motherhood.
Of course. Social media give up everything, as always. Yes. Ruby on fire. How are you this morning? Dr. Vati, congratulations. On your amazing achievement with your children. Really, you're always amazing.
If I ask now, you will not do it. But let me ask the person that will do it. Yawo, great woman of God, you are a spectacular woman.
We'll do it.
Please,
jumbo celebration.
Please, for the celebration, don't forget our implication. You are a great woman.
Well, all right.
You don't fulfill the implication.
Congratulations, Dr. Abati, and of course the entire Abati family. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending by discussing the warning issued by the Governor of Edo State, Governor Okpebholo, who over the weekend cautioned Peter Obi, the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, against visiting the state without obtaining security clearance. The governor's statement, made during a public event, stems from Peter Obi's previous visit to Benin City on June 7th, where he donated 15 million naira to a nursing school. Okpebholo claimed that the visit coincided with the resurgence of violence in the state, which resulted in 3 deaths. He emphasized his role as a chief security officer of Edo State and stated that high-profile individuals, especially politically exposed persons, must notify him and seek security clearance before public engagements to ensure adequate security measures. Well, let's take a listen before we take some reactions.
The man will say no gashishi. I am sending a direct message to him. There is a new sheriff in town. He cannot come to Edo without telling me, because his security will never be guaranteed. Whatever happens to him when he's in Edo State, he will take it. I am serious about it. He came the other day and donated 15 million. Somebody was saying, no, Gashishi, why you get 15 million to donate to people? By the time he left, there was crisis. 3 people died in Benin. So for that reason, tell Obi he should not come to Edo without telling me.
The man where he say no get shishi. I mean, that has been a conversation, long-drawn conversation about Peter Obi and his frugal nature, but obviously you know that he does a lot of donations and all, but that's not the subject of the day. But in the meantime, the warning has drawn widespread criticism from various groups, including Labour Party senators and human rights lawyers, who argue that it infringes upon Peter Obi's constitutional right to freedom of movement. However, the Edo State government has since clarified that the governor's statement was not a threat, but rather an emphasis on the need to follow security protocols, particularly in the current volatile security environment. Meanwhile, the APC chairman in Edo State, Jarret Tenebe, has endorsed Governor Okpebholo's warning to Peter Obi to seek clearance before entering Edo State. During a press conference, Tenebe stated that the governor was right in saying that Peter Obi couldn't enter the state without permission from Governor Okpebholo because, according to him, there's deep-rooted hatred for Peter Obi in the state. Let's take a look.
The governor can say that because of the kind of hatred that people have for Peter Obi in the state, including me. And when you have people, so many of us that have such hatred for people like that, especially when they came to Edo State and people died, it is proper for him to tell the governor before he will come, so that people like us will be sent on errand out of Edo before he can come and possibly go. I'm sure that's the reason why the governor made that statement. That's why I think the governor made that statement, and it's correct. And we support him in whatever he's saying. So whatever anybody is saying, they're just saying rubbish.
conflicting reports. Jarret here is saying he supports the governor and that, he is right. And, a lot of people, including himself,
deep hatred.
Deep hatred, hates Peter Obi.
How can you hate a human
I mean, have you heard anything like this? I'll just take a reaction. I had a flurry of reactions, but since we've been discussing this, I'll just take this one. Now, a fellow Nigerian is warning another Nigerian about visiting another part of Nigeria without security clearance. Now, as a Nigerian, you need security clearance to enter another part of Nigeria. We must put an end to this madness. Rufai, I'll take your comment before I take Senior Advocate of Nigeria's comment.
I mean, it's clear.
Yeah.
We should not, you see, it goes back to our leadership recruitment process. Look at the caliber of people that we have as leaders. Just look. People that can come out and say, oh, don't come to my state because of politics. Then the party chairman also came out, say he has deep-seated hatred.
That's what he said.
A party chairman of a political party. So when you look at the caliber of leaders in Nigeria, you know why Nigeria has not moved forward in all these years. And see, if we continue with this level of leaders, it will never be well with Nigeria. Because Nigeria is so blessed. But the problem is there's a way that people that are the 10th, 11 have a way of making it to the top. Where is discretion? Where is decorum? And the representative of the Edo State Government that wrote a letter that said, it's because of security, tried to placate the situation and said, there's a thing about moral and spiritual inclination to giving that when you give, you don't allow the world know. I dare him, I triple dare him to go and condemn President Tinubu's wife that has donated 1 billion that we have recognized and applauded here. I dare him to condemn her.
Or warn her not to come into the session because she's high profile.
No, I'm not even saying about warning her. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Not using TV that they're not born and went to warn President Tinubu. I mean, it's Peter Obi, they do all of that too. But I dare him to condemn President Tinubu's wife that donated billions to people. That why did she announce it publicly? I dare him. I triple dare him. Right. You see, I'm not saying don't have partisan politics. But be sensible. Don't incite violence and hatred. For a man to come out and say he has deep-rooted hatred, you know what that means? So it's a reflective of his personality. But I'm not surprised. Is it not Jarret? Jarret that came here, they said they don't watch Arise TV, that people don't have money to subscribe in it. Is it not Jarret?
All right.
Forget that one, Jarret.
Meanwhile, Dr. Vatifai comes to you. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on Edo State Governor Okpebholo to withdraw his alleged threats against Peter Obi and issue a public apology. Falana, in a statement, condemned Okpebholo's remarks, stating that the threat to the life of Mr. Peter Obi issued by the new sheriff in town in Edo State constitutes a violation of Section 33 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and Article 4 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which guarantees the fundamental right of every citizen to life. He emphasized that as the Chief Security Officer of the state, the governor's primary responsibility is the security and welfare of the people. Falana urged Okpebholo to withdraw the threat, apologize to Obi, and assure him of his safety in Edo State. He added that if the governor fails to do so, Peter Obi should file an application in the Federal High Court to enforce his fundamental right to life, especially given the prevalence of mob justice in the country. Falana is urging Peter Obi to sue Okpebholo at this moment.
Well, unfortunately, Governor Monday Okpebholo enjoys the right to immunity under Section 308 of the 1999 Constitution. Section 308 simply says that, you can't sue governors, deputy governors, president, vice president in the course of their work so as not to, affect, the smooth operation of the state. However, Mr. Femi Falana is right, as Kenneth Okonkwo was also right in saying that what Governor Monday Okpebholo has said is illegal and unconstitutional. Kenneth Okonkwo, whom we interviewed earlier, added to it that it is irresponsible. Now, if you look at it from the constitutional perspective, Section 33, that Mr. Falano, SAN, referred to, guarantees the right to life. You cannot threaten somebody's life. That in itself is a felony under sections 33 and 47 of the Criminal Code, which is operative in the southern part of Nigeria. But against section 308, protects the governor. But there are certain steps, of course, that Mr. Peter Obi can pursue, like reporting to the appropriate authorities that Governor Okpebholo is threatening his life, and should anything happen to him, Governor Okpebholo should be held responsible. Section 34 guarantees the right to the dignity of the human person. He's questioning the dignity of Mr. Peter Obi. He's more or less calling him a criminal and a murderer because he says because he came to Edo State, 3 persons died.
Yeah.
He will have to provide the proof that the death of those 3 persons can be linked to Mr. Peter Obi. Section 39 guarantees the freedom of the right of expression. Section 40 guarantees the freedom of assembly. Mr. Peter Obi can go to any part of Nigeria and associate with anybody. All of this is covered by Section 41 sub 1, which says that there is freedom of movement in Nigeria. Mr. Peter Obi can go anywhere, just as you and I can go anywhere in this country. In fact, Section 41 says if we choose, we can choose to reside there. In fact, Section 15 sub 3 and 4 says that, in fact, you can leave your part of the country and go and settle and marry in another part of Nigeria. If Mr. Peter Obi decides tomorrow to take a second wife, will Okpebholo say he cannot come and take an Edo woman? He does not have such powers. No. And he says it's a protocol matter and all that. We saw the video now.
Yes.
So why do people lie in the face of evidence?
Yeah.
And then again, protocol. He's not a protocol person. He has described himself as Chief Security Officer. As Chief Security Officer, as Mr. Femi Falana pointed out, he is supposed to ensure the security and welfare of everybody, not to isolate Edo State and say people that are politically against his own interests must not come there. Right. I agree with Mr. Femi Falana, that he owes, to start with, that's the minimum. He owes Mr. Peter Obi an apology. Yeah. And he also owes the rest of us in Nigeria an apology. Yeah. And the people of Edo State an apology for putting his foot in his mouth. This is what we say when we argue that people who are going to be appointed to positions of high authority should have a certain minimum of enlightenment. Unfortunately,
Dr. Abati, do you know that his is it the WAEC results? His results were trending online, Dr. Abati, all weekend. And in the result, I mean, if it is accurate, he was like a D student. He had a lot of Ds and probably 1 C. But another thing that was also trending, Dr. Abati, the fact that Femi Falana had called him, what did he say? The new sheriff in town. If you can pull up our picture of the day. And that is of Governor Okpebholo wearing a sheriff hat. There you go, the new sheriff in town, Dr. Abati.
Well, when he took his oath of office, he swore to uphold the Constitution of Nigeria.
Correct.
Everything he has done or said, spoken threat, with regard to Mr. Peter Obi, flies in the face of the oath of office that he took.
Right.
The more reason why he should apologize for embarrassing the people of Edo State.
Right.
We had predicted it, that he will embarrass the people of Edo State. This is just an instance.
Absolutely, absolutely. Bimbai, before I come to you, during the rally, the Edo State Governor, Monday Okpebholo, assured supporters that Edo State will vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. He stated that President Tinubu is doing well for Nigeria, adding that Tinubu provides him with all the money he uses for projects in the state. Let's take a look.
Let us follow the man that no road. Yes. Asewaju is doing well for Nigeria. We are not campaigning, but we are always telling our people the truth. Asewaju has done well. Everything you see I'm doing in Edo today, who is giving me money?
Are you?
Who is giving me money?
That's right, you.
So, now that we know this, 2027 is guaranteed.
We know
winner. Asiwaju, you don't win. No, wow. I mean, Monday Okpebholo, quite special, isn't it? I mean, there's no IGR in Edo State. I mean, there's a state allocation. It's Tinubu that is giving him money. Go ahead.
Yes.
All the money.
All the money. I mean, I'm quite curious to see how he came about with that conclusion.
Yes.
Because I believe it was just yesterday or a few days ago they reported that the highest FAC has been distributed in history. So we know that there's the allocation. We know that there's IGR. There's various ways in which states earn their revenue and are able to fund their budgets. And I don't know any instance where that comes out of the president's pocket. But let's say it's a euphemism or a metaphor that he's using in this moment to try and garner support as somebody who's trying to pledge his allegiance to his principle. And I say the way he's doing it is just the highest form of sycophancy. Because I don't understand why you can't find any real measurable metrics to share with your people. Yeah. Why couldn't he stand there and say, this is what has happened? List out all of the achievements. You know, President Tinubu's administration at the presidential level, at that communication level, they list out what they feel are the achievements. But at this point, he couldn't. He says, see all the projects, see all the... And I just say, well, you know, it's barely a year that he's been in office. So, you know, we're yet to see his projects that he's actually started himself and completed, because it's not about starting projects. Anybody can start them. But we want to see him oversee them to completion. As for him also, you know, giving warnings, issuing warnings and so forth, it's just so disappointing to see that this is where the rhetoric is. The polity is already very heated up. So we don't need leaders to continue to heat things up. Yeah. We still have a couple of years to go until 2027. So all of this needs to just tone down. And it's quite irresponsible to see that he is using this opportunity where he's interacting with his constituents to heat up the polity in this way.
All right, a few minutes really quickly.
Yeah, real quickly. What I just wanted to say is this. See, you know, it's good that we've put all of this. The best way to be able to shame people that say things like that is report them in the public. Because if you report to the police, wasn't it us on this table that interviewed a police chief when somebody made those threats leading up to the elections in Lagos, the national elections, and the police were saying that he was joking? Is he not here?
It's true.
And the question is, Oji, wearing those threats carried out, wasn't Jennifer stabbed in the eyes due to violence? Weren't people disenfranchised in the governorship elections?
Right.
So it's not today. People make threats. As long as you are as a part of the political divide, they'll look away from it. And that's why we should all collectively condemn what is evil. Where is politics with decency again? And the assumption, like you've clarified clearly, you see, these are just political rhetoric. The Edo people, it is your money, your taxes that are being used to do projects. And it is your entitlement from the Commonwealth of this country that is giving you, in fact, that you used to do projects. And your own internally generated revenue through your own taxes and your sweat.
All right.
So it is your money in the end, not anybody's money. Let us set this, and that's why education is key.
Dr. Bati.
Well, this is the point I was making about enlightenment. It's not Tinubu's money that the states, the subnationals, collect on a monthly basis. But I just have one, humble recommendation. And it is as follows. I recommend a meeting comprising the Commissioner of Finance of Edo State and the Attorney General of Edo State to explain to their governor the meaning, the import, and the details of Section 162 of the 1999 Constitution. Yeah. And they probably may need to remind him again and again so that he will not make the mistake again to say, Tinubu gives me money. So,
all right.
But I don't want to do their job for them.
Yes.
They should sit their governor down and explain to him, because he doesn't seem to understand that part of governance.
Well said, Dr. Bati.
Some constituents from Edo State are saying that he's probably just still honing his English skills. So it was a slip of the tongue. Right. So maybe he can also communicate in his vernacular language to make sure the communication...
I've seen some constituents that have also donated him to other states. Don't say that. Well, all right.
My decent Okpebholo.
All right.
We don't agree on this, but it doesn't mean that he has not done something.
All right. Well, yes, he has actually done quite a few things. Yeah. Well, all right. We'll continue on the story. Well, meanwhile, Celebrating a remarkable milestone on his 64th birthday, Peter Obi's supporters, the Obedient Movement, organized peaceful rallies nationwide, demonstrating a collective commitment to good governance.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Medical road, cross. Medical road. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Peter Obi. Yeah, happy birthday, Peter Obi. The rock of Africa.
It happened for Warren Light and Jarret. Mr. Peter Obi birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy 64th birthday. He's our milestone story today. Happy birthday, Peter Obi. Well, rather than engaging in personal festivities, Peter Obi reiterated his philosophy of directing goodwill towards uplifting society, urging supporters to channel resources to the poor and struggling institutions. Peter Obi's approach highlights his consistent dedication to the public good over personal luxury, a sentiment he exemplified by redirecting substantial birthday gifts towards building classrooms and donating essential resources. Peter Obi shared a thank you note on X to all his well-wishers. Let me quickly read it. He wrote, thank you all. From the bottom of my heart, I sincerely thank everyone for the outpouring of goodwill and birthday wishes I received nationwide. I remain deeply grateful to all who marked the day in one way or another, not to mention Nigerian youth, the Obedient family, and the members of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, renowned for their apostolate to the poor. As I turned 64 years old yesterday, I must confess that the current state of our nation makes the idea of personal meritment even more difficult to contemplate. The scale of suffering and deprivation among our people weighs heavily on the conscience. This is why I have once again requested that all those who wish to celebrate me should instead channel their resources towards helping the poor or supporting our struggling health and educational institutions. On my part, I have chosen this day to renew my personal commitment to continue supporting the institutions of state in the best way I can, especially those that directly serve the people. I mean, this is such a remarkable cause. Really, we have seen Peter Obi do this. I'd love, Rise News here. We are wishing Peter Obi a happy birthday. I know you want to say something quickly.
Very quickly, I mean, a very happy 64th birthday to him. And what a wonderful way to celebrate it in such an organic way, like Rufai was saying. He didn't need to go around and physically do so many things. There were people who were ready and willing to celebrate him in their own way. But I think I love the fact that the emphasis was on philanthropy and outreach and reaching out to the poor and the needy, which he has done consistently over the past few years. So we're happy to see him, happy to celebrate him. I don't think we're asking for implications because we see he's done the implications with those who need them and deserve them the most. So a very warm, happy birthday to Mr. Peter Obi.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Peter Obi. We'll take another story now. The ongoing dispute between the Nigerian Senate and Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, has taken a new dimension. The Senate over the weekend issued a warning to Akpoti-Uduaghan to desist from forcefully resuming her legislative duties until the expiration of her suspension, despite a federal high court ordering her reinstatement on July 4th, deeming her suspension from the Senate excessive. The Senate leadership appealed the decision and has not allowed Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan to resume her duties. Akpoti-Uduaghan's legal counsel has issued a rejoinder to the National Assembly, stressing that the court's judgment is binding and that the Senate has a constitutional duty to comply. Meanwhile, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan has announced her intention to resume her legislative duties on Tuesday, July 22nd. And her legal team has indicated that further legal action may be pursued if the judgment is not enforced.
But I have pretty much 2 months more before the 6 months expire. However, I have written to the Senate again, telling them that I'm resuming on the 22nd, which is on Tuesday, by the special grace of God. I will be there to resume because the court did make a decision on that. Now, they argue that it's an order. It's not an order, but it is a decision. And if you look at Section 318, I think, of the Nigerian Constitution, it did mention that a recommendation forms part of a decision of the court. So whether it's a recommendation, a judicial decree, a sentence, or an order, they are all decisions, and decisions are binding on every Nigerian and every authority and every institution. So I'm going to be there live to attend. But I also know that the Senate will be going on recess very soon, maybe most likely next week for 2 months. That means by the time the Senate resumes, my 6 months would have lapsed. And I will go back. I will resume.
All right, she's saying that she will resume on Tuesday, that decisions are binding. I mean, their opinions are divided. But I'd like to read a comment from Femi Falana, SAN, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who I believe over the weekend had emphasized that the Senate cannot disregard the court's decision, stressing that once a court has delivered a determination, whether by judgment, order, or recommendation, it becomes binding and enforceable under Nigerian law. And that's from Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I mean, this case is going to continue to unravel as we see it here. Over the weekend, the Senate is saying that she cannot return. She's saying that she has to return. I mean, I don't even understand how far we're going to go with this conversation. But as we'll do on this table, we'll continue to follow up on the story. Shall we head over to Ogun State now, where the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, along with other dignitaries, welcomed President Bola Tinubu at the Gateway International Airport in Ikperu on Sunday. The president was in Ogun State to attend the 8th-day prayer ceremony in honor of the late Awujale of Ijebu land, Oba Sikiru Adetono, the revered Yoruba monarch, who passed away on July 13th at the age of 91, marking the end of a remarkable 65-year reign. Speaking during the event, Tinubu expressed his profound gratitude to the governor of the state, Dapo Abiodun, for his exemplary care and support for the revered monarch. The president praised the governor for embodying and extending the monarch's legacy of leadership and honored him with a new title, Okonlomo Eleyi of Ogun State. Let's take a look.
His Excellency Dapo, Governor of Ogun State, OjyOkpe. Well, I won't bring out its other title. Okonlomo Eleyi of Ogun State.
Dr. Amati, your governor, you're laughing. Remember, he was the Eleyi of Ogun State, but that was a beautiful ceremony. Yes.
You remember that during the campaign period when Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, now president, visited Ogun State, he had referred to the governor of Ogun State as Eleyi.
Yes.
And that was seen as a derisive comment. But within the intervening period, it's very clear that both the president and the governor, you know, they've strengthened the amity between them, and then calling him Okonlomo. Okonlomo means a special child.
Oh.
You know, so it's a way of correcting what people thought was a slight at that time, and even complimenting him, you know, OjyOkpe. Shows that he speaks a lot of English and all of that. But it was a very, convivial environment, which is good to see. But the other issue is that the president went there on the 8th day of the Fidal prayer for the late monarch of Ijebu land to honor him. And he had a lot of positive things to say about him as an impactful monarch, as one of those traditional rulers who did not go to bow and kowtow before General Sani Abacha, who was a principled man, who was a courageous man, a monarch who always spoke his mind, regardless of whose ox was God. And he received the grace of longevity, ending up as one of the longest reigning monarchs in Nigerian history. Final point, third one. I'm trying to rush the points to save time, is the fact that I saw some people say, why is President Tinubu going to his Ogun State? Where is he going to land there? They have forgotten that Ogun State has an international standard airport in Ekpero.
It's called the Gateway.
You could see that runway.
Yes.
You know, that wide-bodied aircraft brought by the president landed safely there. So that's an achievement.
Correct.
You know, this is the gateway to Nigeria.
Very good, very
and
good.
We have our own airport in Ogun State now.
Very good,
very soon we will divert traffic from Lagos to Ogun State.
Very good.
And if you want to come and visit us,
I will come now.
You come in your helicopter.
Yes.
You know, there's a place where you can land. Or in your private jet.
Yes. Well done. Today, Dr. Abati. Today, Dr. Abati, Ogun State, no, they carry last.
Yes.
Okay, we say, congratulations, Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun. Well, in our good news report today, Nigeria is gearing up for a significant milestone in its aviation sector with the federal government's announcement that Abuja will host the nation's first ever International Air Show in December 2025. Well, the inaugural air show is expected to significantly boost Nigeria's visibility in the global aviation space, open new avenues for foreign investments, and stimulate growth across various sectors, including trade, tourism, and aerospace development. The landmark event is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development and the Nigerian Air Force. The federal government says the decision to host the Nigerian International Air Show in Abuja stems from its strategic location and accessibility. The event is envisioned as a platform for leading civil and defense aviation companies from around the world to showcase their products and services, engage in business transactions, and explore opportunities within Nigeria's burgeoning aviation industry. Key stakeholders, including the Ministry of Interior and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, are fully on board to ensure seamless operations, particularly concerning visa facilitation, security, and regulatory compliance for the anticipated influx of international participants. I think this is such a laudable cause. Really, really amazing. Kudos to the federal government on this amazing feat. Well, more on aviation news. Nigeria's largest carrier, Air Peace, has launched new direct international flight services from Abuja to London Heathrow and London Gatwick airports, effective October 26, 2025. This makes Air Peace the first Nigerian carrier to offer direct flights from Abuja to both of London's major international airports. The airline is offering round-trip tickets starting from 1 million naira with a generous baggage allowance. Passengers can book through fares from any of Air Peace's domestic destinations across Nigeria, including Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Benin, Warri, Owerri, Kano, Yola, Gombe, and Asaba, to London via Abuja using a single ticket, eliminating the need for multiple bookings or baggage rechecks. Similarly, travelers from London can access these Nigerian cities through Abuja. This new service aims to provide greater ease, efficiency, and value for travelers between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. This is such an amazing feat, isn't this? I cannot wait to travel directly from Abuja to London. And of course, the perks, starting at 1 million naira. What a great, great milestone for Air Peace and the whole staff. And of course, for the federal government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.